have a 2 on the outside, okay, of an index of 2, which means you can take this and put them underneath the same radical like so, okay? So instead of having 2 separate houses, now they moved in together and they're in one house. Okay, well what you would do then is on your calculator, you're going to hit your fraction button and you're going to type in 20 over 16 with no radical, 20 over 16.
5 over 4.
5 over 4. Okay, so this actually becomes a house with 5 over 4. Okay. Oh. Okay. Well, hold on. Okay, so then at that point, okay, you're going to go back to what we originally had. And again, I'm doing this a really slow way so you can see this step by step, okay? Well, now we can go back to 2 separate ones. So we're going to go back to square root of 5, square root of 4. Okay, what are our magic numbers?
2, 3, 5, 7.
2, 3, 5, 7. So the 5, is he going to get a tree?
No.
No. But the 4, he can get a tree. What would his tree be? 2, 2. So who could go? One group of 2s. So really what's happening is, and I gotta move my work over here, okay? The 5 is gonna go. Okay, here on the bottom, one group of 2s can go. So who's left on the inside of the radical? Nobody. So do we leave it there? No, we just don't put a house, okay? And so this is really what's happening. And so that's our answer. Now, some of them you could, rather than reduce the fraction, you could make the tree from the 20 straight from the gate. So you could say 20, make a tree, 16, make a tree, but then you would have to reduce again either way. Okay, so I like to reduce because then you're making a tree with really small numbers versus really big numbers. Okay?
So just like the easier way to do it?
This is the easy way. Okay, now, we don't need to draw and split and draw and split. That part is a little bit easier. Okay, so on number 3, the easier way to do it then is to hit your fraction button without even drawing anything and say 3 over 27. 1, 9. Okay, so that's really going to become like this. 1, 9. Okay, for the 1, again, if it's not a 2, 3, 5, or 7, we have to make the tree. Well, what are some factors of 1? 1 and 1. So who can go? 1 group of 1. So 1 is going to go on the outside. Okay, what about the 9? It's going to be 3, 3. So who can go? 1 group of 3s. So you're just going to get a 3 out here with no house for both of them. Okay. So some things, if you can memorize, it would be beneficial to you. A square root of 1 is 1 with no house. Okay. Because that's the one thing like people have a tendency to forget. Okay. So 6 over 2. We're going to type that in. 6 over 2. 3. So it's really 3 what? 3 over 1. Okay? And the reason I say that is because then you guys forget where the 3 really got to go. So it's really going to be square root 3 over square root 1. Okay, does the 3 simplify? No, 3 is just 3. Okay, what about the 1?
Wait, how do we get 1 from 3?
Okay, well, because 6 over 2 is 3.
Oh.
Okay, so in this case, does the 1 really dictate anything? No, it does not. In some cases, it will. So I would always err on the side of caution and put. Okay, so my answer is just going to be square root of 3, which I can just draw a 1 on the bottom. That's totally fine. Okay, 7. We're going to type in 5 over 20. 5 over 20. 1 over 4. Okay, so I'm going to get square root 1 over square root 4. What does a square root of 1 become?
Nothing.
What does a square root of 1 become? If we were to make a tree, it could be 1, 1. So then who can go? 1 group of 1s. Okay, square root becomes just plain 1. Square root of 1 becomes plain 1. Okay, and you can also, no offense, but I'm going to use square. Okay, you can also look back at your paper, because you probably already have some of these square roots already solved and done. What's the square root of 4? We've already did it once. It became a 2. Okay, it became a 2. Okay, however, you can draw the tree off to the side, and it'll do it for you. Okay. 8 over 36. 8 over 36.
2 over 9.
2 over 9. So we're going to get square root of 2 over square root of 9. Again, what's our magic numbers? 2, 3, 5, 7. So does the 2 need simplified?
No.
No. Square root of 2 is going to stay square root of 2. What about a 9? It becomes a 3. Okay, flip your page. 8 over 25. 8 over 25.
8 over 25.
It's 8 over 25. Now, sometimes the fraction does not reduce. So then we have to ask ourselves, is it a 2, 3, 5, 7? So is 8, does he need simplified?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to kind of draw off to the side. So 8 is going to be 2, 4, 2, 2. So who can go?
1 group of 2.
One group of 2s. Who can't go?
2.
A 2. Okay, 25. 25 is going to become 5 and 5. So who can go? One group of 5s. Who can't go? Nobody. Okay, so that means everybody can go. Okay, 13 is going to be 25 over 4. 25 over 4.
Same thing. 25 over 4.
It's still 25 over 4. Now we just did 25. What did 25 become? It became a plain 5. Okay, what did 4 become? Square root of 4 was 2. Okay? So it's just going to be 5 over 2. Okay, so the more square roots that you can memorize, the better off you're going to be. Okay? You should be able to memorize the small ones, to be honest. Okay? So 1, 4, and then some basic ones. Okay, 2 over 8. 2 over 8. 1, 4. Okay, so it's going to look like square root 1, square root 4. And again, these are the small ones, so whatever you can memorize is good. Okay, square root of 1 becomes what? 1. Okay, square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 4 is 2. Okay, 20 over 45. 20 over 45. 4, 9. Okay, square root of 4 over square root of 9. What does the square root of 4 become? 2. What's a 9 become?
3.
The 3. No how. Okay, 5 over 4 is still 5, 4. What does 5 become?
5.
It's still 5, right? 2, 3, 5, 7. Okay, so 5 is going to stay square root of 5. Okay, what about the 4? What does the square root of 4 become?
2.
A 2 with no house. What's the square root of 1? 1. What's the square root of 4?
2.
2. Square root of 9
3.
is 3. And the other way you can look at it, okay, this is how square roots work. What's 1 times 1? 1. That's how you got a square root of 1. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 3 is 9. So, let me ask you, what's the square root of 16? Is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. What's 5 times 5? 25. So, square root of 25 is 1, 5. 6 times 6 is 36. So, square root of 36 is 1, 6. Okay? I know. So, if you can memorize the smaller few, like all the way up to, I would say 9 or 16, so like 4 of them, would be beneficial to you. Okay? So if you can memorize like at least like the 4 easy ones, the 1, the 4, the 9, and the 16, like it would make your life much easier. Now, you can still do the tree, and that's fine if you don't want to use your brain power. But you were already getting the hang of it by the time you got 3 of them.
Yeah.
Okay?